welcome to the 7-day chakra challenge. I followed the chakra sequences from this book as diligently as possible. The meditations were inspired by some online research, meaning pose, mantra, and mudra. Today we're focusing on the 6th chakra, or the third eye, or ajna chakra. So we're going to be finding our intuition. For the third eye chakra sequence, I began in Sukhasana with Aum chanting and 5 minutes of Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. This is an alternate nostril breathing that I'll be explaining more about later. I then moved into some wrist stretches and downward dog for 1 minute, bicycling out the legs and getting comfortable in the pose. After that, I moved to Tadasana and then Urdhva Hastasana for 1 minute. The next one was pretty difficult because I was in Uttanasana for 3 minutes, which actually made my legs go numb, and again I'll talk about that more later. I tried to keep moving and take modifications, but eventually I gave up on the Uttanasana and moved into dolphin pose, or Shishwalasana, for about 1.5 minutes, and then rested in Balasana. It was then time for another minute in downward dog, and then 3 to 5 minutes in headstand. Guys, this is really long. I never hold headstand this long, and I ended up holding it only for 2 minutes. But while we're here, I'll read something from the book for you about the third eye chakra. Ajna chakra symbolizes the overarching intelligence and wisdom that brings all of the other chakras to life and balance. All that we have inherited and all that we manifest in the moment is brought into a sense of clarity and wholeness through the prism of the Ajna chakra. After resting in child's pose, I went into low lunge for 1 minute on each side. I then prepared for wheel pose with Satipanda Sharvangasana, and then did wheel pose twice. I had a nice rest in Supta Baddha Konasana for about 1 minute, and then came up and did a couple of twists, these strange twists that I never do in my own practice, but I actually like very much. So Bharadvadrasana A and Bharadvadrasana B. And then Dandasana before our forward fold in Paschimottanasana for about 2 minutes. And a long Shavasana and an even longer meditation. The meditation was slightly challenging as I was distracted by my dog, sirens, and construction noises outside, but I sat in a lotus position with the Kalesvara mudra and chanted Aum. The third eye chakra. I believe it's called Ajna chakra. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. The third eye chakra is associated with the color indigo, and the stones I use today are amethyst, definitely one of my larger crystals, and this one, which I looked up today, and again I forgot the name because it's a little bit longer and it's not so common, but it's got a lot of blues, purples, a few copper, green tone. It's got a little bit of everything, but when I looked it up in the book, it said that it was associated with the third eye, so there you go. The mudra that I used for meditation was this crazy looking heart-shaped thing. Okay, there you go. You're supposed to link all of the fingers, except for the middle finger, by the top of the second knuckle, and then the thumbs are connected at the bottom. So it looks like a strange heart shape. I actually really like the shape. I think it's just really pretty. The breathing technique today was Nadi Shodhana, and I love this breathing technique. One of the things that this challenge has made me realize clearly is that there are so many different ways to practice breathing, where most of us only breathe one way and we're not conscious when we're doing it. So it's automatic. All of these practices have a different effect, and it's just so cool. So I will be doing more pranayama videos, including a tutorial on Nadi Shodhana, but basically you are touching your third eye with your pointer finger and your middle finger, and then you are adjusting which nostril you're breathing in and out of with your thumb and your ring finger. So it looks like this. And you breathe in, you breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out. That's the very basic explanation of it. It's very balancing, and I really love this breath. It's very calming. The actual sequence was very short. It was about 30 minutes long before meditation, and there were a lot of inversions. Basically a lot of things that make the blood flow to your head, which makes sense if you're thinking about the third eye chakra. If you want blood flow there, you're gonna have to put your head below your heart, which is in yoga the definition of an inversion. So downward dog is actually a type of inversion. I've never held headstand for so long, at least I don't think so, and it's really tough. It's really tough. I don't know what else to say about that except, wow, intense. I was supposed to hold it for 3 to 5 minutes. I held it for 2 minutes. That's my limit right now, and I'll see if I can work up to longer, but it's a lot of upper body work, pushing the ground away so that not much of your weight is actually on the top of your head. If you've never done headstand before, please do not do it alone. Do it with a yoga instructor or a yoga instructor. There are some tutorials online as well, but just be careful. You know, you are dealing with putting pressure on your head and on your cervical spine, which is very delicate, and it's not actually created to take so much pressure. Anyway, the third eye chakra is all about intuition and seeing clearly. Think of it as this invisible extra eye that you have that's looking upon the world, and when it's open and when it's balanced, it reads things and communicates that to you that you wouldn't otherwise notice. So when you are practicing a third eye chakra opening or balancing sequence in yoga, I would actually suggest that you move intuitively. For example, in this sequence, I followed my intuition when I felt, I can't hold the pose any longer, even though it's telling me to. I don't want to hurt myself, so I came out, and it was interesting because it was this balance of me asking myself, am I being led by fear in this pose that I'm going to hurt myself, or am I being led by my body's wisdom to say, okay, that's enough? And that's the balance that I was trying to hold with all of these poses. So when I was in Uttanasana for 3 minutes, my legs actually started to go numb. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why my body does that, but it does. And at that point I said, this is not the reason why I'm doing a forward fold. I'm not doing this so that my legs go numb and I can't feel them anymore. So I came out of the pose. Also, in something like Anjanasana, I would consider myself to be hypermobile, and one of my most cherished teachings from one of my yoga instructors was that he told me that I don't have to go 100% into the pose. I don't have to push myself to my limit. Instead, if I stay at 70%, maybe 80%, I can hold that position with my muscles and gain more strength. and honestly be a little bit more safe in each pose. So that's what I was practicing today. I wasn't going to 100%, I was pulling back and I was following that intuition and the wisdom from my previous yoga instructor to keep myself going, to keep myself running. So it's nice. The meditation was suggested to me between 5 minutes and 55 minutes. I believe I did it for about 5 minutes and chanted Om. So I think everyone knows this sound, the Om. And everyone knows this this mantra. It's probably the most famous mantra around the entire world. I'll share some details about that because it's really beautiful when you start to read about it and how much goes into it. I think that's all. I really liked this. It was short and sweet and to the point, which I enjoy. And that's it. Have fun opening your third eye and enjoy all of the intuition and wisdom that comes with it. I'll see you guys for the last crown chakra sequence. It's an integration of all of the chakras together. So see you for that one. Bye. Does anyone actually know the difference between indigo and violet without looking it up? If you study color, then please let me know. I would love to have an explanation of this.